At the International People's College, we live together with more than 100 people from all over the world. We experience a lot of differences in our habits, thoughts, and everybody has had already a lot of questions about their culture. But still, there are some questions that we would like to ask, but maybe we don't dare to. Let's listen to the answer on those interesting, funny, but sometimes inappropriate questions. Tonight we have a cozy episode of That's a Good Question, not only because it's a Monday evening and it was snowing today, but the main reason, of course, is that my three guests are three very nice people from the USA. Next to me there's Hannah. She's an energetic, positive 19 years old student who was born in Texas and lives now in Colorado. Good evening, Anna.
Hello.
With less amount of your voice. You have been sick, you know.
Yes, no, I have been a bit sick. So this is very subdued, Hannah.
Okay. The second guest is Lulu. She's an 18 years old student from New York City. She's a down-to-earth student with a lot of interest in civil engineering. Hey, Lulu.
Hi.
I had to convince you a little bit to come to our podcast, but I hope you're looking forward to our talk.
100%. Yes.
Yes, that's nice to hear. And then our third guest is Carson. He lives in Los Angeles, California. He's recently graduated in philosophy, politics, law, and French. He's really all around. You find him disc golfing in the woods, swing dancing, guitar playing, singing, and so much more. Good evening, Carson.
Good evening. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, did I forget any of your passions?
Of course, it's not an exhaustive list. I love everything I can get my hands on, but those are some main ones for sure.
Very nice.
Yeah.
So, all three of you live in the USA. USA is a very notorious country, and that includes that there are a lot of stereotypes, but also a lot of unanswered questions from our fellow students. I selected the 5 most interesting questions, so let's start with the first one.
Hello people from USA, I'm wondering what you think about the IPC English.
I'm incredibly impressed. I mean, you know, obviously, I guess I was expecting if we're going to a school where the language is English, like all the classes are taught in English, that everybody would be an English speaker and like therefore, you know, like good enough to get something out of their educational experience. But it's really impressive to think that like everybody here that obviously is not a native English speaker is bilingual, and many of them try 4 languages, 5 languages, 6 languages, and it's I don't know. I'm really impressed. I mean, there are accents. I have an accent in the other languages I speak, and but everybody's very comprehensible, and yeah. I think it's really cool. And I think especially coming from the United States, where learning other languages is not as big of a deal, because it's not like you can get on a train for 3 hours and then go to a place where there's a different language. Like, you have to really travel. So I think it's just less important for all of us.
I agree with that. I really am impressed with it too, and especially because I've known a lot of these people since July, and a lot of them have grown a lot in their English. I've noticed they've gotten more comfortable speaking it, which is really cool, which I really enjoy. I also really like the conversations where we run into words that they don't know, and like I'll say it and they'll be like, "What is that word?" And it's a word that like I've grown up with. Like I was having a conversation with Marcelo and I said the word treat, and he had no idea what a treat was, which I thought was really funny. And Lily and I were talking about how they don't know little words like treat, but they know like bigger words that like I'm like, how do you know that word? You know? But overall, I would agree with Carson. I'm really impressed with
I thought my vocabulary would improve in English, but it's more my confidence that improved in my vocabulary.
That's the most important thing anyway, right?
No, and I mean, I'm not speaking for every native English speaker, but I don't think any of us are secretly thinking, oh, you know, that person isn't speaking great English. We're thinking like, thank you for speaking to me.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I completely agree with that.
Let's move on to the second question.
Yeah.
What color is skin color sucks in your country?
I think
yeah, like a tan.
Like a generic beige, I think, is the most common one. And then they're kind of pink ones, and then I've seen ones for darker skin too, but I would say the vaguely grandma tan ones are the most common ones.
Yeah, I think just on the general topic of referring to things as skin color, I think that's gone out of fashion a little bit more.
Yeah, it's important to like know that like the US is very much like a mixing pot of different like skin colors and skin tones, I think, and like different kinds of people. Like, of course, like we're predominantly a white country, But I think that we have a lot of different types of people living there, which is really cool. And so whenever I go to like Walmart or something, which is like a big superstore in America, you can get any skin color you want in anything like that, like any clothing or Band-Aids and stuff. Even now you can get.
What do you think about McDonald's out of US?
McDonald's outside of the US.
I guess I have something to say about this, just because when I went, there was like this documentary that came out when I was like 9 years old, I think, and it's called Super Size Me, and I watched it as a 9-year-old.
I think a lot of Americans
watched
that.
It's basically exposing like McDonald's as like this big place that like makes you obese and stuff, and I vowed to never eat McDonald's again after that, and I've kept that until we got here, and the only fast food place is McDonald's across the street.
I will say the McDonald's here is egregiously expensive, and every time I go back, the price is slowly inching up on different items by like 1 kroner, and I look at it, and it's just, I think it's I think they think I won't notice.
Making an analysis of it, yeah.
I also didn't eat McDonald's until I came here, because I've normally had delis and various bodegas that were closer to my house.
Well, like the thing is that I like in America, I had so much access to all different types of fast food that like I could just choose not to eat McDonald's, and I could eat just as gross fast food anywhere else, you know, like Panda Express and Chick-fil-A. I went there at least once a week.
Right.
Like,
yeah, it is kind of funny how like McDonald's is more of a dirty word than any other fast food chain.
Yeah.
I think a lot of it is because of Super Size Me, that it's like, oh, McDonald's is like the place, and people still know that other fast food is generally unhealthy, and obviously depending on what you order, but like for some reason McDonald's has like the reputation of being like the corporate,
so it's very overrated here in Denmark.
And I think at least people I know, there are multiple fast food places that we go for specific things, but no one really goes to McDonald's because there's always a better place for, like, people go to Shake Shack.
Oh my God, Shake Shack. If I want a burger, I'm going to Shake Shack.
Or people will go to, Chipotle or Taco Bell if they want that.
Yeah, I feel like McDonald's is the place you go to when it's the only place that's open.
How important is money to people in your country?
I love Nikolai trying to mask his identity. I don't know. Very. It's hard to tell how important it is compared to other places.
Yeah, because I guess it's important, but is it more important than anywhere else? I don't know.
Where the U.S. is driven by capitalism and stuff, and like, I don't know if it's more than anywhere else, but we have stores that stay open until like 8, and like we overwork our workers and stuff all the time, and people are quitting, and it's like an actual big thing right now in the U.S. But here, like, they care about the workers and they care about the people and stuff, and so like things close early, and so it's just like, so that's such a foreign thing to me, because our companies, I think, are just so money hungry, and I think things go to shit because of that.
8. I've seen like the Gap close at like 10.
I know, that's exactly, and like that's just so foreign here.
Right.
8 is early, honestly.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
Most retail and most
stay open late in the US generally.
True. I'm so used to everything closing at 4 now here. Like it
yeah.
closes at 4 and 6. Like that's crazy to me.
That's such a loaded question though. It's like how important is money in your country? It's kind of like asking how important like water is in your country. Like obviously you need some amount of money to like buy your food, or in a lot of countries where the social safety net is better and the wealth distribution is a lot better than it is in the United States, it's almost like those people would say, oh, well, money's not as important to us. And well, you might say that, yeah, but well, it is still important to you. It's just that you have a system where it doesn't make you feel like it's as important to you. You kind of take for granted how easy it is to access it. And you could kind of say the same thing about water. In a country where like water is very easily accessible. Well, of course, water is still important to me, but I don't think about it all the time because there's taps everywhere, and there's drinking fountains everywhere. Also, random thing, I have not seen a drinking fountain in Denmark. They're all over the United States.
It's messed up. Yeah,
Oh,
I was
wait.
gonna say that.
That's
Drinking fountains,
crazy.
I rely on drinking fountains so much. I drink from drinking fountains all the time in the United States. And
Carson, you just blew my mind.
yeah, I know.
Like,
I've never
I
seen a
just
drinking
realized
fountain
that.
here. Unrelated. But
I always think that, like, I'll finish my water bottle in a public place, and I'm like, where's the drinking
where's the
fountain?
drinking fountain?
And
you
then
just-
I
they're
have
just
to
never-
go to the bathroom, but then the bathroom is sometimes you have to pay for
Yeah.
the bathroom. That's the thing. That's
Kinda
how
wild.
they get you.
You know,
It's a very foreign concept here.
I know, it's kind of wild. Like, it's,
We're
yeah.
going from the importance of money to importance of
So,
water.
okay, but okay, yeah, sorry. So sorry.
okay,
No, like,
yeah.
Which conversation topics make people of your country feel awkward?
I get the first thing that came to mind was like, you know, something very taboo is like sex, especially within like the household, and I feel like it isn't as taboo to talk about over here. Stuff like that.
I think
Yeah.
it does depend a lot on location and culture, though, because I'm sure people from other countries have the same strict conservative upbringings and then kind of freewheeling parents and anything in between.
That's I just remember specifically having that conversation with my mom because my mom's from Denmark and that's something she's noticed.
Oh yeah,
that-
compared to Denmark, definitely.
Yeah, that was so.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, some issues are more sensitive to Americans at specific times.
Abortion is a pretty hard topic.
Abortion is a
To
hard
talk about,
topic
yeah.
to talk about. Yeah, I mean, all the stuff that's like current political, all the stuff you'd
Yeah.
expect. Everything that if you ever read American news, like all the stuff that's currently being debated in the houses of Congress are also probably being debated by Americans, and so there are some topics that you're probably more likely to incur a conflict with, which are, like I said, kind of the standard stuff. So religion, any political issues, and sometimes money on like a very personal level too. Like if you're asking someone about their finances, then maybe they don't want to talk about it. It's all that kind of stuff. So, you know.
I will say, in the more casual sphere, I feel like Americans, yes, are more likely to mouth off on stuff they don't know about, but kind of are more willing to just argue casually about things like politics in a way where some Europeans, I think, find almost distasteful.
I dig. I think so many young people are now just kind of being exposed to, like, sometimes very graphically, like, all kinds of different stuff. There's no secrets anymore about, like, and so I think as a few years continue to go by, I think more and more people are going to be comfortable talking about anything because it's like, well, you're bringing this up, but I saw a TikTok about it the other day, so I'm at least a little bit more emotionally prepared to talk about whether it's a tragedy or a phenomenon in society or a community or anything like that.
Okay, that was our last question. Thank you so
Wow,
much for
thank
this
you.
lovely evening talk.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Yes.